A former Liat cabin crew member. She has dabbled in a few things, including the likes of clothing and jewelry designs, and wigs, and even hosted her own unscripted podcast, Wine and Chat, with renowned guests from across the Caribbean. Today, Kamel is here to tell us about her transition from cabin crew to owning her business as a licensed massage therapist at her Meraki massage therapy practice in St. Vincent. Good morning, Kamel, and welcome to SKN's Caribbean Connections.
Hi, good morning, guys. Such a pleasure being here this morning. How are you?
Pleasure. Our pleasure having you. Well, I'm good. Jamie?
All right, wonderful. Happy to get this interview underway. So, why don't you tell us about the drive to become an entrepreneur and to pursue a career in massage therapy, Kamel?
Okay, so my drive was ever since I was a kid. I remember my cousins used to always say, "Come out, come give me a little rub on the foot now." And I was so elated always to just go and do, just do a little massage. And I could see her expressions, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm really good." And I know years later, while I was in the flight attendant field, there were some suggestions that I would make to some of my colleagues, whether if they have like chronic muscular pain, I would suggest certain stretches that they can do. And then, I would apply some massages, especially to the neck and shoulder area. And they would be like, "Camille, this is really good. I mean, you should really capitalize on this. And you have a natural gift for it. So I think you should really go to school." So I think Liat was my really push force, and I know I wanted something more. I know I wanted something, that represent me, that I can be passionate about, that I love, that I enjoy. So that was really my driving force in, going to school, although it was very hectic going to school, plus, working as a flight attendant. So I know I just drilled all the way through. I, just focus. I got all distinctions. Oh, thank God for that.
Yes. Congrats.
As I worked, I was just doing it on the side at home. And sometimes I would even fly home to St. Vincent because after a while I would accumulate clients and fly home on my off days and then fly back. So Leah was my really driving force, my colleagues, because they saw the gift in me, and I would always be appreciated for that from my colleagues back in there.
Mm-hmm. So when did you start your business, and can you also tell us the meaning of the name and why you chose the particular logo, as well as the tagline?
Yes, so we all know the big bad COVID. When COVID came in, and at that time Liat was really subsiding, and a lot of my colleagues would say, "Camille, at least you have something to fall back on." And I decided, you know what, let me just make this my priority. This is my passion. I didn't really want to go full time, but life happens, and sometimes things really push you. Life changes really push you into your destiny. And I think COVID, some may say, it was bad for them, but it had a positive impact for me. I decided, you know what, I should go back home, set up my own business. It wasn't initially easy for me, I must say, because my intentions wasn't really to go back home, but I know I could have, because I was so focused on the holistic field. I was so clinical when it comes to massage therapy. And it was something very new for St. Vincent. Although there are a lot of massage therapists, but the way how I introduced it, it was very new. So I was able to really make it, I would say, really make it big in St. Vincent. And that was the start. Once the buzz got around, this new massage therapist is in town. She goes through consultation. She asks you a lot of things about your body, what different issues that you have, and she really specializes in massage, for each client. And people was like, "Yeah, boy, stress from COVID, they needed that release." So I came in perfect. And everybody always talks about Meraki. They even call me Meraki because a lot of them thought it was my name. And I'm like, "No, I'm not Meraki, but it's okay to call me that." Meraki when I thought of a business, I wanted something that represents me and who I am. I'm a very creative person. I'm full of flavor, full of life, full of enthusiasm, full of love. And I know getting into my business, I wanted a name that was out there that could just resonate who I am as an individual. And the meaning behind of Meraki is the essence of who you are, the love put into something, the creativity. And I'm like, that's me. That's me. Yes. So I was like, I need this to be a total representation of Meraki. And I know when I would relay the meaning behind of it to people, and they were like, Kamel, that was perfect for you because this is your purpose. I even had a client yesterday got so emotional, and she's like, thank you so much for really, tapping into what you are called to do, because there's so much that need help, that need that emotional, that psychological, that physical unwind, need the body to come back to homeostasis. So I'm walking in my purpose with
Nice. Nice.
Some people would call it, not some, the Greek call it Meraki. That's what you guys pronounce it as. So some persons get a little confused about, what's the pronunciation? Is it Meraki or Meraki? But the Greek, it's a Greek name, and it's pronounced Meraki.
Okay.
Meraki, sorry, that's what the Greek pronounce it at, and for the English, it's Meraki.
Meraki, okay.
I was about to apologize for mispronouncing it, but clearly I was still, okay. I was in safe territory. All right, let's talk about your podcast right now, Wine and Chat. Very interesting name, by the way. Tell us about it.
Yes. Okay, so Wine and Chat, that originated out of COVID. At that time, COVID hit us and we were flying, and I wanted something to do. I wanted something to, just entertain me. But lo and behold, Wine and Chat changed so many lives, because I had a psychologist, a behavioral therapist, Mr. Dillison Charles, so awesome. He partnered with me, and we had like different persons from across the Caribbean, because I wanted different points of views to talk about topics such as, depressions, the effects of COVID, anxiety, relationship issues that, women and men encounter, how when you talk about trauma, generational curses and all of that, some really hard topics that a lot of persons try to really just cut out. And I think when persons would sit down and then they would listen to the level of conversations and the interactions that we had, especially with myself and Dillison, it was such an eye-opener for persons. I would always get feedback and say, Kamel, this is opening my eyes to see that therapy is so necessary, because I have so much trauma that I'm dealing with, especially from a child, and I'm bringing it into my relationship. And I'm so glad that this encouragement, my partner, I get to see it, and, it's all making sense to him. Like I was telling him, you need to man up, and just hearing Dillison explain how a man can be a leader, it is really pushing my relationship into therapy. It is really helping me to just overcome. So that was the ideal thing that, Wine and Chat eventually just grew into, and it was so amazing. Sad to say, since Meraki really just hit off, I haven't really been doing Wine and Chat as often, because I get so exhausted. I have to give my energy to my clients. And so the little time that I do have, I try to just recuperate, try to rest.
Okay.
But yeah, we are planning to listen to myself. We are planning to get back on the train, because so many persons about it.
So Kamel, you also once designed jewelry and clothing. We have a few pictures here that we can look at. Do you still do this? Do you intend to revamp your fashion design industry anytime soon?
As I said, that is one of my hobbies. Just like Wine and Chat, I didn't have enough time.
Okay.
In the day, it was like, oh gosh, I wish I had like 3 of me. But I do plan, even in my practice, I plan to, just distribute some pieces because Vincent haven't really known when I was living back in Barbados. Persons knew that, what I was doing, especially around Liat. But St. Vincent haven't really seen that side to me. They know as the massage therapist. So I do plan next year, God's willing, to just reestablish Meraki collection.
Yeah.
So yeah, next year, hopefully.
Nice.
So what's next for you? I mean, you seem to be doing it all. What's next for you, Camilla?
What's next? The thing about it is, I'm such a visionary. I have so much vision as a young lady. I never like to be at one level. I get bored pretty quickly, even though I say I'm, busy. But I always want to capitalize on me. I see myself as leaving a legacy behind. I always had a vision in me to be, a motivator to leave a huge, a powerful impact, especially on the youths. And, I wanted to just capitalize, as I say, growing further and further. And there are some avenues, especially in massage therapy, that I really want to unlock, going on postnatal, prenatal. Also, I want to do a dabble of of acupuncture. So that's something interesting. It's not really, we Caribbean people like, oh, needles. We're not that open. But it has so many beneficial, aspects to it. So I believe, that further I go, things are really going to happen. As long as I put my mind to it,
I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah, if I see myself doing it, of course, it is going to be done.